How would your life be better if you stopped playing it safe and you started to take bold risks? And what opportunities have you missed out on by staying small? Growth and fulfillment don't come from playing it safe. They come from stepping into the unknown with courage. So if you're anything like me and you are all in on unlocking your potential and creating a meaningful life, then I'm sure that by the end of this conversation, we'll walk away with a better understanding of why it is so important to face our fear, embrace bold decisions, and reframe our challenges as stepping stones toward our success. Because if it is that we intend to strive for greatness, then we should know that it lies just beyond our comfort zone. And if we're going to take it, then it is probably time that we reach for it. If you don't know, my name is Chad Joshua, and I'm working my way towards writing a 100-song catalog. I write songs about populism, freedom, and liberty. And this is my artist channel that I use to promote those songs. In my free time, I like to have these talks in order to arm myself with the best thinking I can as I put my efforts into action, and in order to provide some encouragement to you while you do the same thing with whatever it is that you're pursuing in your life. Risk-taking is like crossing an unsteady bridge. Playing it safe, it's like living in a house with locked doors. You know, you're in there all by yourself, feeling secure, but you're missing out on everything that's taking place outside. You know, we allow ourselves to do this because there's an illusion of safety that comes from our comfort zones. They do keep us feeling secure, but they keep us stagnant. And whenever you do make a habit of avoiding risk, you are making a habit of missing out on any opportunity that would come had you not. And that all starts to add up. And playing it safe, it might feel comfortable now, but you know, that's a surefire path to dissatisfaction and missed purpose. So what is one area in your life that you've been playing it safe too much and you'd like to see it come to a stop and you'd like to jump into the action? You can tell me about it in the comments below. For me, with my efforts with songwriting, and more specifically with promoting the songs, I think the thing that I've been failing to commit to do or taking a chance at is running ads on the songs that I'm writing and actually putting coin into promoting them. And it's something that I've been deliberating about for a while now. Up till this point, I've talked myself out of it. I have a list of excuses why I haven't done it. One, there's a bit of a learning curve to it. I'm not exactly sure what goes into that. I'm not exactly sure what platform that I should be running my ads on. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to work, if it's going to allow me to be able to target an audience that would receive the music that I write well. And so then I just let that stew on the burner and I put it off for another day. And I do this again and again and again, day after day after day. And what was interesting this morning, I was listening to an artist who I respect, and he was talking about having been at a real low point in his life. He had been sitting and reflecting on that. He had a song idea pop into his mind and feverishly wrote the entire song in a few minutes and then borrowed money from his family members and friends in order to run ads on that. Now he's super well known, has millions and millions of followers online, and it just all sprang from him taking a leap of faith. And immediately when I hear that, I think to myself, see, that's a confirmation. That's what I needed to do for myself. And then immediately after that, the next few thoughts that I had were, I'm allowing myself to think that that's a confirmation for myself, when in fact it probably won't work out for me at all, and I'll just burn money. And this is the struggle, I think, because you could see in exactly one moment, I was taking something that could be seen as a confirmation, again turn it into another excuse to delay taking action. So then I pick up the camera and I come outside here, and we're having this talk now. So you see what I'm saying? We all have struggles and ups and downs. We all have to do what we can to wrangle that internal voice, that sabotage monster, that the fear or whatever it is in us that's disenfranchised with everything, with ourselves, with our own view of ourselves. My view of myself isn't what I would care to admit. It doesn't lend me any favors. When I'm thinking through this incident, it demonstrates that to me, because I'm thinking how it would work for him, but it wouldn't work for me, and every reason why it wouldn't. And he was way more underwater in the position that I am now in this particular issue inside the topic. I really wish that I had a wider reach, and I don't mean that to be disrespecting the reach that I do have. I wish I could pop on a live stream and chat with all of my friends in order to get that swift kick in the behind that I could use today, but I'll do it for myself via this conversation with this camera. But I shame myself here on purpose because it's a strategy to leverage myself into an action in order to see to it that I do take the risk, because risks are essential, and I wouldn't be anywhere if I hadn't taken the risks that I already have. And they foster a confidence that allows us to do that again and again. Risks expose us to new opportunities and experiences, and the more we step towards that, the more we build resilience, and that resilience is the foundation of the confidence that you get out of it all. But it's important that we make calculated risks, make sure that we're trying to mitigate loss without being so cautious that we've stifled our potential. So to do that, we have to assess the potential rewards and the potential consequences. Prepare as much as we can without overthinking. Then we have to commit, and we have to act, and we have to act in a confident way where we're not doing something and second guessing it as we're doing it. That's the secret sauce of doing. Once you commit, you don't commit halfway. Risks, they're not about recklessness. They're about courageously stepping into uncertainty and doing that with intention. You know, whenever you plant a seed, you can't guarantee the outcome. But if you don't plant anything, nothing will grow. So what's one risk that you've been hesitating to take, and how could you best prepare for it? And how could preparing for it move you closer to your goals? And keep in mind that if you're avoiding taking risks because you're shy of failure, you're creating hesitation, which only limits your actions more. And all of that is rooted in worry about judgment and loss. And while it is important that we're cautious and we're informed and we're making calculated risks, if our primary mode of operation is security and safety and preservation rather than risk and triumph and engagement, then we'll get what we get. You know, you have to do in order to get feedback and learn. I have to do in order to get feedback and learn. I have to create a budget that I'm willing to use to test the waters, to dip my toe in, so that I can get the feedback that I need about that particular process, rather than selling myself out of the idea, putting cash into it because I'm not willing to bet on myself. But at the same time, it shouldn't be about betting on myself per se, as it should be about testing the opportunity in order to determine if it's a viable opportunity and if it's something that I should be exploring. And it is in this reframing where I might be able to find the mental gymnastics that I need to break out of the wall that I've built up around money and my own disenfranchisement with myself. Because failure, in terms of it being feedback, is a necessary part of success. And while when it comes to paying for ads to promote songs that I write is a new milestone for me in my process, and I am having to jump into the cold water, that I am practiced in picking myself back up and keeping going with prior tasks and prior challenges. And I just have to apply that onto this one now. Same way as you're feeling some reservation in whatever it is that you have to do next. Make a thoughtful, calculated decision on how you approach it. Hedge it as best that you can without over-hedging, undermining yourself. And rather than thinking of it as I'm paying for the opportunity for my reach to explode, I think of it as I'm paying for it as a tool to determine whether or not this is a viable resource to building that reach gradually. And even right now in this moment, I can already feel my thinking shifting as I wrap my head around this all in a more practical, grounded, in reality sort of view of what it is that I'm deliberating about doing. Because what is it that happens when you stop asking, what if I fail, and you start asking, what if I succeed? Because challenges build skills, resilience, and clarity for future decisions. Failure, it isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the journey toward it. In order to start living more boldly, we have to prioritize our purpose over our fear. We have to start to embrace uncertainty as a natural part of the process. And we have to be confident to make decisions that are reflective of our values. They attract opportunities and people who align with our vision. And all of that helps to create a life that you can look back on and be proud of. So let's get out there and get to the doing of it. You keep your head up. I'm going to keep my head up. And if you haven't had a chance to hear my new song, you can listen to it here. And we'll talk again soon.